Namaskara, Shubha Sanjay. Good evening to one and all. Today we are conducting the 10th lecture series under Arohan 2024. This is an initiative by our Honorable Principal Secretary, Higher Education Department, Government of Karnataka, to share innovative and best practices adopted in engineering and government polytechnics. It is a platform to share valuable experiences, textbook and research paper publications, patents, if any, presentations in conferences, conduction of invited talks, seminars, workshops, and achievements of students or faculty, if any. These lecture series are conducted on 5th and 20th of every month. So on behalf of the department, it's a privilege to welcome our Honorable Principal Secretary to Government of Karnataka Higher Education, Shri Shrikar MS IAS, Honorable Commissioner, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Shri Jagdish G IAS, Honorable Director, Department of Technical Education, Shri Prasanna H IAS, our beloved Joint Director, CDC, Shri Shrikant G. I also welcome all the principals, head of sections, faculty and students who have connected to this online lecture series. So today we have a very privileged invited speaker amongst us, Mr. Soumitra Bhattacharya, Software Engineering Manager, Google, Bengaluru. So to give a brief introduction about Soumitra Bhattacharya ji. Sir is currently Software Engineering Manager at Google, India. He's leading teams responsible for building smart homes for Google Nest. He's BTech from IIT Roorkee and completed post-graduation from IIT Kharagpur. Soumitra ji has over 25 years of industry experience in product development of large-scale distributed systems, data engineering, video streaming, and building consumer electronic devices. He has held technical and senior management positions at Akamai Technologies, Dish Network, Philips Software, and various other startups. So, welcome to Arohan 2024 lecture series 10, sir. Sir will be speaking on the topic Bridging the Gap, Essential Skills and Traits Industry Expects. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's my honor, I think. Thank you for providing me this opportunity to share my views and on the expectations that we from the industry would have from the students, and we expect them to be industry ready by the time they join us. So my name is Soumitra, and as I mentioned, I'm the software engineering manager at Google India. I lead team for the Google Nest products. What is Google Nest? So Google has a number of products in the area of smart homes, which includes thermostats, cameras, doorbells, smoke detectors, and all. And over time, we are making our home smarter, more secure, and that's what I've been working on. Prior to this, I have worked in various other companies for video streaming platform, data engineering, set-top boxes, and other things. My area of interest has also been distributed systems and data engineering. I have probably around 20 minutes to cover, and a few things that I hope it will help and be useful to all the professors and the teachers here. I think what I'll try to do is that I'll try to go over what I feel is essential for the students to be industry ready. Ideally, I would have liked to be more interactive, but given the format, I'll spend the 20 minutes and to go over what I feel is essential. And I would have the 10 minutes or more to kind of see what questions come from it. I'd be happy to answer the questions. Of course, if we have a time limit, if you run out of time, and if you do not have an appropriate answer, please connect with me. I'll provide all my connection details. I'd be happy to help and provide input whenever required. Given that I've spent most of my career in software industry over 25 years, my views might be more biased towards the computer engineering, computer science, and software industry. I try to put this information together, which is more generic in nature, but there could be things which is very specific to industry, and but I'll try to cover as much as possible there. So let me share my own experience. So this was when I was doing my graduation and post-graduation. I think one of the things that I learned several semesters, right, for four or more semester, was a lot of mathematics, a lot of Fourier transforms, a lot of formulae. I think it was overwhelming. It was a lot of complex things. I think the fact is that while we learned a lot of these maths, I had no clue how to apply them, even in IIT. And of course, I'm speaking 25 years back, so maybe things have changed, things would have become much better. But that was the time when I had no clue what this math is used for. I wish my professors, or somehow I got the information that the DCT or discrete cosine transform or Fourier transform is used for simple things like converting your images to encode and compress them in mathematically and provide them in a matrix form so that you can actually compress the image. But all that we did was only learning mathematics and solving some of these maths problems during the exam and scoring. And so I wish we can flip this mode of education. By flipping, I mean we have more kind of skill-oriented. I understand the curriculum for Polytechnic and engineering school is more skill-oriented today. So hopefully things have gone better. But I'll always would emphasize that we make skill-oriented, I think, education rather than just theoretical education. By skill-oriented, I would always suggest that let's start with the problem statement. We always start with theories, right? A lot of theories to explain, a lot of, I think, information to share with the students. They learn, they come for the exams, right? I think what we are essentially looking for is that can they start with the problem statement? Now, given a problem statement, learn the theory and the context of the problem statement, and apply the theory concepts or the things that you learned to these problems that come across. So multiple things happen. It provides a boost to the students' interest. They get interest, they get confidence in the way of learning, and obviously they build much better skills in terms of what they have to accomplish. Right. So the other thing that I would ask probably is that ask the students to identify a real life problem. Rather than giving a problem which is well understood, or they might have is easily available somewhere, they copy and try to use the solved one. Give them problem. Not only give them problems, I think also ask them to find problems in the neighborhood. I'm sure there are enough problems within India. And if things get solved in India, it gets solved actually at a global scale. So there are a lot of opportunities. I'm just expecting that the way we impart knowledge versus the skill we adopt actually changes over a period of time. I think what we expect from the students from the industry, and I'm being very broad here, as I mentioned, I'll go wider and go deep in some of the aspects. The first and foremost thing, as technical institutions, the organizations which we deal with solving technical problems, I think the first and foremost is the technical competence expected. But there's slight difference in terms of what we expect in the industry. Even at Google, when we do interview, we don't ask a problem and we expect the student or the candidate to just solve the problem immediately and give me a solution. We always expect them to go through the solution and tell us what is he thinking, how is he arriving at a solution. That means that sometimes there is no one method to solve. You have to think about multiple options. You have to think about corner cases, edge cases, things that might fail, better ways of doing things, optimized way of doing things, right? So the entire process of solution is more important than giving a problem and finding an immediate solution, and that's what we're looking for technical competence. So I think I expect even during our education and when they build the technical competence, I think such things are taken into consideration. It's not just find a solution, find many ways to solve, and the process of solving is what builds the technical competence amongst them. The second thing is about ability to learn quickly. So every day we are solving new problems, new challenges. There's always something new coming up in our way. We have not anticipated. This is not something that we have learned in the past or have done in the past. It could be a new technology. It could be a new coding language. It could be something, a new way of designing, or something that we totally don't know. We've just been given a problem, right? So the ability to learn quickly and apply whatever fundamental problem solving techniques we have and apply them can greatly help the students to be more oriented towards the problem solving needs of the industry. The third thing I consider besides technical education, and I have seen many good students who are very smart, very knowledgeable, however, they fail to do an effective communication. By effective communication, it's not about how good they speak. Most of us do not have English as our native language. We have our mother tongue. But the ability to communicate is the ability to, whatever the person is thinking or whatever he is able to, he has to tell to other people, right? If he is able to communicate both in a written form as well as in a verbal form, so that it becomes an effective collaboration. Because in the industry, what we expect, no single person solves a problem. It's a good group of people within a team. It's a cross-border teams who are solving. So all these things have to come together. Writing them down, effectively communicating over email, over documents, over verbally telling them is what makes a difference between a good, I think, an effective individual versus a person with a lot of knowledge but unable to speak through them. So this is one of the methods to achieve the end goal. The third thing, I think the most important thing that we expect the students to have is the problem solving ability. Now, as I mentioned, every day is a new problem, not just copy an existing problem that has been solved, copy that solution or learn that solution, because they will always be put into a difficult scenario, new situation, new ways of working. So there's nothing that we can predict ahead of time. So giving new problems which has not been solved, or even identifying problems, daily life problems for the neighborhood, looking for a solution, applying the technology that they have learned is definitely something that should help them. I think this is what is the core of any student that we would expect them from a problem-solving ability perspective. The other point is about initiative and proactivity. So typically at a junior level and even at a senior level, right, everybody is expected to take the initiative. It's not that unlike as a student, right, we have always been given here is a problem statement, solve it, right? There are often new things that somebody has to find, either better way of doing things or an idea which translates into a solution, into a product, into a feature functionality. And all these doesn't happen that somebody telling us and we are doing it, right? So if this is something that the students can start early in their career, in their college, school, right, it will definitely help them to be more initiative oriented and proactive oriented. The last item is more about attention to detail. Having a superficial surface knowledge actually helps them to grow broad, but what we are expecting is that when we solve a problem, it has to get into the details of it, right? Identify every detail, and be it the technical solution, be it the costing, be it how to deploy them, and everything that involves the solution. So this is broadly what the expectations from the students are in general. So I understand that it's not as easy as I may seem here. I think you will have real challenges that you face in terms of in terms of imparting the knowledge to the students. I think there might be missing. So I understand that people who come to the colleges may not have a foundational technical education. I know some of the students might come from already who have been probably have done in their 9th and 10th courses in Python, Java, or things of that sort, right? But many students on many curriculums and many boards do not have this foundational education. So I understand that you have to have only 3 years, probably 3 to 4 years to kind of start from ground up and bring them to make them an expert in something that they want to do. So I'll touch upon some of them, but I understand these are the challenges you face, right? So technically, I think how to get started and how to make them interested quickly. I think typically we have often been into a rote learning or rote thinking pattern. That means, again, given a problem, answer based on the theory, but how to apply those theory, the things that they have learned is what is the most important thing. So I give you an example. I think recently there was a hackathon on something called building a smart helmet. And the students participated in that, and I kind of helped them through it, right? We did not know what a smart helmet was. So I asked the students of class 8, 9 to go ahead and find out what do you want to build as part of smart helmet. And smart helmet is for the people who ride cycle, right? So they use their hand to indicate I'm turning left, right in a busy junction, right? I said, what can we do? It's very simple that if I see the cars and the two-wheelers, they always have an indicator, right? So why can't we put an indicator in our helmet and can kind of give them an indication that they are moving left, they're moving right, or they are stopping, things like that. So it starts with an idea and then not finding the solution right, but building that solution over a period of time and thinking through every details and not memorizing the solution that are available, but thinking through giving them an experience to how to go from a problem statement to kind of building a solution over a period of time. So I think doing away with rote thinking pattern would definitely help. Lastly, I understand there could be infrastructure limitations, and I may have some suggestions on how to easily build that. Other challenges I may not be completely aware of, and I would like to know from you. As I mentioned that I might be biased on the coding computer science side of things, but I believe that in today's world, right, the way technology is integrated in our daily life, right, everybody should know coding. Coding to an extent that that they should be able to solve problems, and it also helps the students to understand technology they use better every day. The second, so I think I also believe today coding is an interdisciplinary topic. It is not that only computer science students have to learn how to code. Everybody is using software, everybody using digital technology. So coding helps them to understand how things are built. The second part is data analysis and interpretation, right? Today, anything you take, right, we are dealing with data all the time. Even a civil engineer who has to build a bridge needs to know that how many vehicles will pass, what's the load in the system, how long this bridge is supposed to sustain, things of that sort, right? So everywhere from mechanical engineering to civil engineering to computer science, everywhere we're dealing with data today. So identifying the data and analyzing them and ability to ask questions based on the data is one valuable skill I think everybody should develop, right? Because so that they can make a more informed decision for the projects, for the problems that they are working based on the information that they have. So they can make and also when they have a more complex sort of problem and lot of data, they can break it down into smaller segments, and all this is through data analysis and interpretation. So even if you see the marketing personnel, right, or to mechanical engineers, as I mentioned, to agriculturists, everybody needs to analyze either current data or past data to take this decision. And I expect that data analysis is a very important skill for the students. Third one is technical documentation. I think I mentioned about the clarity in communication in the past, so clarity in thinking, right? So documentation helps us clearly mentioning what are we going to do, what is the problem statement, what are the different ways of achieving solutions. So writing them down clearly, thinking clearly, put it, somebody reviewing them, right, giving feedback. These are the processes which help in kind of getting the I think is something that definitely helps in problem solving and also builds communication. Lastly, project management. I think any project, as I mentioned, right, just independent of the branch, right, requires a clear definition of what are we going to deliver, what is the outcome that we are expecting out of a project or a product that we are building. there could be, I mean, since they have to solve complex problems and they do not know what is to be done first, what has to be done next, right? Project management involves breaking down this whole problem into smaller steps. They need to plan the execution. They need to make, I think, costing calculations. They have to find out how much resources is required, what kind of materials, modules do we need. So all this requires a clear planning. So project management is one thing we expect people to be self-organized, but this is one essential skill, I would say, so that they students, and when they come to industry, they have already built up a way to systematically do anything that comes in their way. I know many of you would be interested to know what is the technical competence that we are looking for. As I mentioned, the first few things I said is more common. The second one is pretty identified is more domain specific. As I understand that people might, or students might not have gone through coding or coding practices, or they have not been exposed to coding in the past when they come to you as beginners, right? So this is a big challenge that they are not exposed to. Many of them are not exposed to computers, they're not exposed to software and things of that sort. But the good thing is, even in India, and even go to the remotest place within India, the mobile is omnipresent today. So everybody is on a smartphone. Everybody, large part of our population has smartphones. They have penetrated deep within the country. Every youngster has one or the other, at least in a family, right? The other thing I've also realized that the youngsters are also fond of games, right? So if you make them play, that's more interesting for them. They can spend hours together. They're hooked onto that, right? So Scratch is one of the tools where you can actually learn coding through gaming. So let's say you have to move a ball from in a room from A to B, position A to B, right? So Scratch will help you without actually writing code, that what is the logic to be used. How do you move something here? And let's say if it hits a wall, it has to bounce back and things of that sort, right? So that could be a beginner's coding, I would say. And here is the statistics of how across the world, how people are using and at what age they are using Scratch. I know in advanced countries, in US and the Western countries, they can start even at the age of 5 or 6. And by the age of 13, there's a peak number of students who are using Scratch, but it's still not late. Even at the age of 17, 18, we see a lot of people are using Scratch to begin with, and then they build the foundational coding understanding, and from that they continue to build their skills around coding. I think one of the myths is that we should learn many languages. No, I would strongly recommend that let them learn 1 or 2 languages. Yes, Karthik. Karthik, you have a question? If you can unmute. Okay, I'll move forward quickly. So the second one is coding language. The third one is around networking. You see, all our devices today are connected in one way or the other. So I think there are very simple, theories around learning networking, and I would encourage students and faculty to go through them, right? Karthik, you have a question to ask? Okay, you are muted if you're asking. Okay. Okay, I'll go ahead. The fourth essential thing is knowing about cloud computing, right? So today, unlike in the past where all of us had to have a large desktop with CPU, memory, and disk and everything available, most of the resources today is available in the cloud, and that is something that we cannot do away with. And it is good to know some of these technologies around cloud computing, storage, database, networking, basic understanding of that. Lastly, I would say if somebody is, you keep hearing about IoT, and there's smart ways to build smaller things, right? And this Arduino or Raspberry Pi is a cheaper, within 1,000 rupees, you can build a complete kit. And I think students find it very interesting once they know what to do in terms of building up a solution around IoT, right? The next set of things are more domain specific. I'll say if people are more interested to get deeper, they can do mobile application development, CAD, AutoCAD, doing DevOps tool, but they're very specific for, I think, the domain. Once they have attained basic knowledge, I think they can always delve into it. No discussion is complete today without, and especially from Google, if we're not discussing about machine learning and AI, right? So what can students learn in the context of machine learning and AI? This is an evolving field, right? So, but at the same time, we had machine learning and AI for a decade now. For example, when we had spams in our emails, there are spam filters, right? You go to search, there is auto completion of sentences. You write a word and the word gets completed, right? Or you do some intelligent search, right? So all these were already in existence. It is just that the recent developments of large language models, ChatGPT, Gemini from Google, there's a lot of euphoria because of the recent advancements that has happened, and it has caught the attention of the larger population. And more people are now aware of what's coming in the form of machine learning and AI. So I think students, I'm expecting at least to know some fundamentals of AI, because it's a very specialized field. There are a lot of complexity around it, and what I expect them to at least understand that and identify is that if they're doing anything that is repetitive, any job that they're doing repetitive, right, can they automate? That's the first form of, I think, machine learning, right? Secondly, I think integration, what we do today, how do we use machine learning or AI in our day-to-day life in the industry, I would say, is that we integrate these daily tools in some of our daily usage tools. For example, when you write a document in Google Doc, right? I think there are help available that please write this for me, or elaborate this for me, or summarize if I do not know how to write, or how to write a good English, or things like that. So in a mail, if a mail comes, we send a response immediately. Yes, Hanumanta, the question. Okay. So, and then I think there is simple code that can be written by the AI tools themselves, right? So I think that's what we currently use. We use it for summarization, search of content, anything that is repetitive, that software engineers may not want to spend time on, and it becomes a little boring after a period of time. And it also repeated, we can easily do it with the tools, right? We use AI basically. What should the students do in the form of AI ML? I think they should build a foundational knowledge of what AI ML means, right? What is deep learning means, what is natural language processing, little bit of robotics and automation, and then application of AI. So for example, there are tools available with Gemini or ChatGPT to solve any problem, right? So solve any of the problems of documentation, finding solution to a given problem, getting information back from the internet, right? So I encourage students to do that. It is no longer that information has to be only coming from books and syllabus, right? So information is freely available. I think students can use this to build the capabilities of problem solving, project management, and other things. I think that's the way we should look at it. And that's how they are ready and prepared for the industry. When they hear about AI, they at least know, okay, here are the things that are coming in our way. But somebody wants to dig deeper and more advanced, right? They need to know more advanced mathematics around AI, data science, models, etc. So there's a lot of scope there, but I'll limit it to at least knowing the fundamentals there. I think those are the things I wanted to cover, and I hope I have some time for questions, if any.
Yes, if anybody has questions, they can raise hand. Participants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you have some offline question, please do write to me. I'll be happy to help.
Yes, yes.
I would typically want to know what challenges do you face, and is there anything that we can help you to sort out those challenges?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful talk on bridging the gap, essential skills and traits industry expects. And you have covered most of the assets of what industry expects from students, and what are the challenges and essential skills what are required, and you highlighted that coding is essential. Yeah, definitely, the coding knowledge is very essential, uh, and the technical competence, also what technical competence one should have, and the importance of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Yes, and thank you, sir. Thank you, and yes.
Again, thank you for this opportunity. I know it was a rush through. I rushed many things, but
Yes,
I'm
yes.
happy to be in touch with whatever is required.
Yes, in 20 minutes, I think you covered so many aspects, and you've given a concise overview, like what industry expects and what essential skills are required. And this information definitely will be very useful for our faculty to carry it forward in their day-to-day teaching learning processes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming over and speaking. So, on behalf of our Department of Technical Education, I thank you, sir, once again. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I will drop off.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you. So, our next speaker today is Miss Meghmala C. Madam is a consultant, public finance management, Janagra Center for Citizenship and Democracy, Bengaluru. She will be speaking on the topic employability skills for navigating the 21st century job market. Welcome, madam. Welcome to this talk series, Arohan 2024. Just a brief profile about Meghmala, madam. Is a public policy professional with expertise in skill development, education, entrepreneurship, urban governance, and public finance. She is currently working with the Janagra Center for Citizenship and Democracy in Bengaluru and is consulting for the 5th State Finance Commission, Karnataka. She holds a degree in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from VTU and a certificate in Public Policy and Management from the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. Prior to her current assignment, Madam has spent 4 years serving the Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood, Government of Karnataka, and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. During her tenure as Executive Manager of the Strategy and Operations Wing at the Karnataka Skill Development Corporation, she helped the department design several innovative initiatives which brought national recognition for the department. One of her notable contributions was conceptualizing and implementing the Kalke Jotege Kaushalya program, which integrated skill-based learning into the education system, equipping students with employability skills relevant to the 21st century. She also has played a vital role in designing the Karnataka Career Planning Program, a career guidance initiative for students from class 6 to 12. Additionally, she played a key role in establishing the industry linkage cell, which institutionalized collaboration between industry, academia, and government. And our Department of Technical Education also has interacted with Madam for having a skill development courses and programs for Polytechnic students as well. She's profoundly interested in democratizing quality education and believes that education holds the key to the progress of both students and the nation. She's dedicated in contributing to this cause. Thank you, madam. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming over to speak. So, madam will be speaking. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. And good evening, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to thank you again for inviting me here today. I must say this is an amazing initiative by the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, and I'm really happy something of this nature is being taken up by the department, and yeah, I'm excited to speak today, really. So thank you. Just give me a second. I will present my screen. I hope my screen's visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Um, so yes, like I said, you all heard our a previous speaker from Google speak to you all about the essential skills and traits, the industry expects from students. I'm sure he addressed it very well, and I'm sure a lot of your questions have, been answered, or maybe there are more questions that you'd like to be answered. So that very nature of, or say that very point of getting that interest or having you understand what the industry needs and what the students need to be performing is something that I'm guessing the whole the Arohan lecture is trying to achieve. And continuing on that same theme, I will speak to you all about the employability skills for navigating the 21st century job market. In the introduction, like Sir said, I've earlier worked very closely with the Department of Technical Education and the College of Education, and we've created a program called Kalike Jutige Kaushalya, which helps sort this very problem. We're trying to bring in skill and marry skills to formal education, and then help students become better equipped to address, or say match, the demands of the job market. So the topic is very close to my heart, and then I'm really happy to be speaking about it. So yeah, so let's get started. So today I will run you through, this is going to be my brief agenda for the day. I'll run you through the changing landscape of employment. It's important for us to understand what job market is and then what it looks like, and help you understand or learn what employability skills are, and then give you certain examples that will help you understand it better, and then maybe give you some sort of a roadmap that will actually help you acquire these. And some of the way forward in terms of, as an individual or as a department or an institutional level, what can we all do together to address this? So this is how I'd like to take the presentation today. Yes, so I believe a good place for us to all start is to understand what job market looks like. I'm sure there's one thing, if there's one thing that's common in all of your minds, the students especially, that would be about, say you're in your final years of your diploma or say engineering education, and then one thing that I'm sure will bother might not be the right word, but is something: will I find a job? Will I earn well? Will I be able to support my say family? Or how will I contribute to the nation, the larger picture? So yeah, so a few years ago, I was in your position, and I believe I'm able to understand what that is. And then I strongly think it's important for us to start with understanding what the landscape of the job market looks like. So if you just take a quick look at how or where we are at right now. India is progressing economically. We're today 5th largest economy in the world. And along with the economic progress, we also see that India is transforming drastically or dramatically in terms of technology. So there is this shift that we see, say post-independence, we had this agrarian economy, which is now tech-driven. And we also see that there is a rise in the gig economy. The youngsters are more happy and then accept more of the freelance sort of work. And India is also the Bengaluru, where we all stay right now, or say the capital of Karnataka, is the startup capital in the country. So we have about 92,000 startups, and there are many young and tech-savvy population that wants to start something of their own, not just be a job seeker, but also be a job provider. So with all of this, and another thing that you might keep hearing again and again is something on the demographic dividend. We have about 65% of India's population that is living in under 35 years of age, which is the working age group. This, in absolute terms, translates to about 80 crore. Well, while all of these sounds very, very interesting, what's also true is that while there are 80 crore people that are entering the job market, on an annual basis, if you look at it, you have about, say, 60 to 80 lakh population that is entering the job market. So when these, say, 60 lakh population is entering the job market, you also have to understand there are only about 20 to 30 lakhs of formal jobs. I'm saying formal jobs that are available in the market today. So what does this mean? This means that we are competing. So 60 to 80 lakh population that we are competing for those 20 to 30 lakh bracket, whatever we have. And we have to, and it's a very small in number in compared to the actual population that is looking for jobs. And this level of globalization and the openness also tells you that we are also competing globally. A, because of our aspiration, and B, because the markets are open. So in such a scenario, what are we going to do? So all is not bleak. While there are about very little population, and then while, say, once you're out of the education, you're able to find a job. If you're not able to find jobs, then what are you going to do? How are you going to compete? What is the scenario then? So this very challenge is what I would like to answer in my session today. And one of the easiest answer, if you ask me, is skill. So skill seems to be the easiest answer for all of this question. And then on how we sort of want to take this ahead. So in such scenario, what should we get to, what should we do to probably get a decent job? So, and another thing that you also have to remember is, despite there is this level of competition, it is also true, I'm sure our earlier speaker would agree with me, it's also true that the industries or the employers are also finding it difficult to get right candidates. Even they are struggling. So the very first thing we all can do is to become skilled as per the industrial requirements. So what are industrial requirements is the next question. Isn't just the skills. Say, for example, you must be thinking you're already learning, your engineering, your computing, or say your AutoCAD or anything for that matter. That hardcore engineering skills, you must be thinking those are the skills that will be academically the one that you're already learning are enough. But in reality, like our previous speaker also highlighted, it is also important that these are not enough to get through this this changing job market or the scenario. And the very answer to all of this is that there is also there's also something called employability skills, which will help you perform better in this competition, so to speak. So I'll take you to what are help you understand on what the employability skills are. Employability skills, like you can see on the screen, are a set of both soft and hard skills. So the core engineering skills that you learn, say programming or say circuit design, or the hands-on experience that you will learn from internship or say experiences. While this is at the core of it, like I said, something that adds on to this, which is sector agnostic. Say skills like communication, skills like teamwork, or say problem solving, or with changing technology, things like digital literacy. or is also becoming a skill of the time, where the skills are, are something that are sector agnostic. So it doesn't matter on which sector you work. These skills are transferable, so to speak. So you can actually perform, you can take these set of skills and then perform well, no matter where or which sector you work on. So this is something that the employability skills mean. In fact, in the previous lecture, sir also listed out a few things like, say, are you able to learn quickly? Are you able to adapt? Can you effectively communicate, say, both internally and with the, say, client? Or can you communicate in both written and oral format? Do you have that inquisitiveness? Do you have that problem solving skill, innate nature that one wishes to possess? So are you proactive? So these are the skills, these are the exact skills I am speaking about. So, and if you can take a look at the slide right now, I will actually leave the slides with the team, so you can take a look at it whenever. So things like business awareness. Do you understand what where you work? So what makes these organizations successful? Do you understand what is the importance of innovation? Do you understand what is important for them? Where are you headed? What is the goal? How do you contribute? Sir mentioned something on, while he was speaking about initiative, he said something like, you also need someone to think of or come up with such ideas, come up with new things. So are you that person? Say, communication. Are you able to build that rapport within your own team or outside of your team? And are you able to present it well? Are you creative? Do you have that inquisitiveness to create something new? Disruptive technology, maybe, that can change the face of the world today, that is from today. So are you someone who is who's organized? Do you take up such initiatives? So, say, do you plan well? How do you manage? How are you a team player? Say, leadership qualities that you can take up. So these are the skills that are at the core, and which will actually help you perform well. I'm sure you all enjoy cricket. Say, to give you an example, say Dhoni, although he was an untested captain, he got us T20 World Cup, and then he attained that, achieved that legendary status, so to speak. And some of the qualities that one attributes to his success is something on the lines of the critical thinking, the emotional intelligence he had, or say the teamwork, and then say the leadership qualities he possessed. So what I'm trying to say here is, while core skills, or say the domain knowledge, that is very important, that is crucial for anyone, is always going to be important, it is also important for us to build qualities or skills like such, say communication, leadership, or teamwork, or being creative, which will in turn help you achieve that success, attain that success. You have to understand, this doesn't stop at say you're a student now. We're asking you to learn or build such qualities in yourself. This has to be a continuous process. These are the skills that will help you stand out, so that is where I'd like to that's what I'd like to tell you. And another thing I'd like you to understand is, we might it's only common for us to just think the student that, say, Dhoni, just they are born talents, but it's a false notion. It is, you'd have to understand that these skills can be acquired, can be cultivated in oneself, and which is what I'd like to speak to you about next. So I'd like to take two approach in here. One, for us to address this as individuals, which I'd come to later, and another is to address this as institution, as say department, or say or as a university or a college. So what can we do in the first place to help support our students in making this, you know, a reality or possible, really? So in under the institutional say action plans, these are some of the things that I think will actually help us form better. So one would be the very important area that we will have to focus is to bridge the skill gap that exists. And I especially because I've already worked with the department closely on a project, I understand the department is already doing a lot on this front, including this whole Arohan series as an example. And I'd still like to highlight that industry integration is always at is always crucial for this transition to happen. We'd have to integrate, or say I cannot emphasize this enough. So industry interaction, be it at the college level or say in terms of say collaboration, in terms of infrastructure investment, in terms of collaborating, in terms of skilling. So a lot of the times the education institutions that the government has, one of the major challenges would be to would be the availability of the infrastructure, and then how a simple solution that we found out was to send our students to industries and then help them get skilled at these industrial units. And another thing that we tried before was to get the industries use the existing premises of say some of the advanced colleges that have advanced infrastructure facilities, or say established center of excellences in each of these institutions, or say Siemens has done it, and then so Microsoft is collaborating, so Adobe is collaborating. So such things is something that we can all such approach can be taken up from at different levels, not necessarily at the government or department level, can also be taken up at the college or the university level. And next thing would be the curriculum integration. So with changing technology development, and say the technology changes every the pace at which the technology changes, I'm sure it is very, very difficult for an industry to, or for an for an institution or an academia to keep pace with it, which is also where the curriculum becomes the major area of focus. And to have industry experts or industry representatives present makes all of the difference. Something I'm proud of is I think the Polytechnic department has also the latest 2020 curriculum. They've also introduced employability skills for 3 credits. So that is something is really on the right direction. And then I think we have to take more such steps. And another thing that I'd also think is important is for us to another way for us to resolve this is maybe conduct different workshops, maybe also upskill, or say train your faculty, conduct faculty development programs, have engage with industries for this very reason as well, and say support internship programs for the students, approach more industries, and say bring in more of the career counseling for those students, inculcate, or say introduce, or say formally establish mentoring as a part of of support, as a form of support for the students, and then help organize job fairs or maybe virtually also. And another thing that I really believe will help is the alumni network. Alumni network can help you in two ways: help you in terms of mentoring, and also in terms of, say, guest lectures, and also help you in terms of offering better job placements for the students. So this is something that I think the colleges can, or say universities can, actually benefit from. And while that was at the institution level, to the students, I think not necessarily in this order. I think these are some of the things that I think you can all do in terms of achieving in terms of achieving, or say attaining these employability skills. As simple as, say, while you're at your universities or the colleges, just take part in group project works, do more presentations. If there's something called an student exchange programs, then participate. Take up more internships, and participate more in terms of community projects, attend mentoring programs, gain work experience, get involved in the extracurricular activities. This can be starting something as a club, like a sports club, or say start to do public speaking, to participate in community activities, participate with an NGO, or say do an internship, work on your vacation, or volunteer basically, or even as a student, you could do part-time jobs, maybe freelance. So there are innumerable opportunities when it comes to freelancing. Take up online courses, leverage the learning management system, or number of such programs that are available online. So it's like a Coursera or an edX, or the Department of Skill Development has something called the Skill Connect portal. We also have Badwani Foundation that is providing online courses for employability skills to students. So make best use of such programs. And depending on the field of your study, you can always consider obtaining more industry specific certifications. This could be IT student pursuing something in cloud computing or a cyber security, while marketing students can do something in terms of, say, digital marketing certification. So such things will always help you improve your resume, make you more it'll actually gain the attention of the employer. There are always a lot of webinars and workshops that are always conducted online. You can take part in it, actively participate, gain hands-on experience, take up apprenticeship, internship, just learn to enhance those skills that you already have. Say hackathon or a simulation or any such competition is also something that you can make the best use of. Networking, or say also using professional networking sites like, say, LinkedIn is also something that you can focus more on. So all of this together, another very important thing, like I highlighted before as well, is the continual learning. So you will have to stay abreast of industry trends and then the advancements that is happening. You'll have to engage and continue to upskill yourself beyond the traditional curriculum that you learn as part of the the college or the education system. These are some things that you can actually emphasize or, say, focus on. And then, like I said, all of these skills and more are always acquirable. All it takes for you to is to be dedicated and then invest your time in it, practice more. So yeah, so this was me, and my sort of a take on the employability skills, and then how it can actually help the students really. One thing I'd like to end is this. I think I really liked what it says. Something on how important it is for us to look between the lines. So we want to look between what skills do we have, and what is employability, what is needed, and what is that gap between the potential you think you have, and then how do you realize it, and the balance between our the ambition the students have, and then the support as department or government who can actually give or facilitate in realizing the dreams of the students. So yes, thank you. If there are any questions, I'm happy.
Yeah, participants, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Sir, I think you're on mute. I'm not able to hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Krishnananda?
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yeah. Krishnananda, please go on, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. It was a very wonderful session from your side, especially about employability of our graduate students. Actually, is there any such idea and the action being done by VTU, ma'am, for engineering students? You said about Polytechnics. DT is doing something for Polytechnics.
Correct,
Are you
sir.
aware of any such things from VTU for engineering students? Because there are a lot of internship and other programs available in the syllabus, but how to go about it, and what is the mode of getting these things done is a bigger question for us. Because nowadays any XYZ company is saying we are giving internships for so and so amount. So it has become a business kind of a thing without giving actual skills to the students.
Right, sir. So is your question limited to internship, or is it also about, say, skilling, like I said?
No, yeah. You need to anyway upskill, you have to reskill, everything you should do. But from the engineering point of view, the curriculum is designed by the university, since we are affiliated, not an autonomous college. So in all the affiliated colleges, we just go by the university schemes and syllabus within the framework what is given to us. So majority of the syllabus has internship for students, and then of course there are some mini projects and other things. But the issue is, since there are so many engineering graduate in different streams like computer science, electronics, mechanical, or whoever it is, and especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities and villages where engineering colleges are there, we don't have any such infrastructure or any companies or any such things to really motivate and give the required skills to the students. And there is no such efforts from the university side also to enhance these facilities or make an MOU with this. Everything is concentrated in Bangalore, especially IT companies and all. For all other colleges in different parts of Karnataka, it's a bit difficult thing for us to even to monitor also what students are doing, even if they go for internship or projects or any other skill-based programs. And many nowadays, as you know, it's all mushrooming everywhere, that we give internship, we give projects. So such kinds of things are coming with every nook and corner of the Karnataka state. So that is one of the bigger problems we are facing.
Right, sir. Sir, I might not be the right person to answer this, but I'd still like to give you some ideas that I think might help you from my experience so far. So first thing is, like I said initially, we did something called Kalike Chitake Kaushalya. So this program, the Department of Skill Development, Karnataka Skill Development Corporation, we're doing it in collaboration with the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. So what we're trying to do is, and the program is actually being launched in 4 universities right now. Gulbarga, Kalburgi being one, outside of Bangalore, and we also have Tumkur, and so the idea is to partner with industries. Say we have Adobe, we have Microsoft, we have Tally who've partnered, and then they will give training and also help give and also give certification to the candidates by the end of the training program. This is something we've tried to do so far. Why I say this is this is something that we've done in pilot. We want to also increase the ambit going forward. So that is one. And for you, I think you can also look at it in a way to just, if not for credits, then at the university level or at the college level, can you still approach some of these industries and then maybe help help your students gain that knowledge. Say for example, Cisco, while we were at this conversation with Cisco is someone who wants to do this in a big scale. So they want to take up and their approach is slightly different, and they want to actually improve or say do the faculty development program and help implement the training in each of these colleges through the faculty. So it's all the more sustainable, if you ask me. So such things at university or college level can still be thought of, is something I feel. And skill development, I think I think it's great that we're all working together, and something we have to continue to do because we have something called the government technical tool room center, and then we have something called Karnataka German Technical Training Institutes, the GTTCs and KGTTIs. So such institutions also offer internship. You can actually, and the GTTCs are available in all 30 districts of the state. So, and there are also about 5 KGTTIs that are available, and both of these institutions have really good infrastructure and industry, at par with the industry. So you can send across your students to these institutions and then make the best use of such existing infrastructure there is. So I think there are certain things that you can try and do at your level, and I'm sure the department is already working on taking this up and bringing this up at a state level, which they will continue to do, and that should help in the future. I hope that answered.
One more. Okay, thank you, madam. Then there's one more question by School of Mines, KGF.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good evening, sir. Madam, good evening. I'm
Good evening.
here. Like, I had 2 things in my mind while you were talking. One was the same as Krishnananda sir put forward. That is, do we have one common connect that we can approach the industries and provide some internships for our students, have a hands-on experience? Because nowadays what we are doing is when we approach some, it is more of commercial activity, like small companies come forward and it's just a training center that we end up with. So there's no proper hands-on practice for our students. So one thing is, so through Skill India Connect, can you do some favor regarding this, providing good internships so that they understand the proper industries? Of course, the faculty also are not aware what exactly is going on in the industries. So maybe some things have to be worked upon this. And one more thing is, as you rightly said, the communication skills is also very important, as very much equal to the domain expertise. So what do we do with respect to the communication skills? Is there anything that we can work upon this also? Because the students who come to our institutions hardly have knowledge of writing a common letter. Like those kinds, of course, we do have in our curriculum communication skills that is right now running, but still it's just not enough, madam. Like we do need some kind of support from your side. Can we have that?
Ma'am, thank you for the questions. I think you've raised all of the right points, and both the departments are agree to the points that you've raised, and these are some things that we've started to work on for the last one and a half, say 2 years or so. So I'll just go one by one. So you were speaking about the internship. Like I said, ma'am, internship, one way for you to look at it, at least in terms of the manufacturing sector, you can actually use the existing facility there is in terms of GTTCs or KGTTIs. They're very good quality. The training, the trainers and infrastructure is all of good quality, and I'm sure your students will have that hands-on experience and then learnings. And another thing we're also trying to do is as skill development department, the ITIs, 150 ITIs were upgraded with the support of Tata Technologies. So there are 150 such ITIs across, and then we're also trying to make this infrastructure available to all students, really. So that is on the pipeline, though. So that is something that we can probably depend upon going forward. Until then, another thing that we can actually do is, ma'am, the Department of Skill, we have something called the Karnataka Skill Connect portal. While the objective of the Skill Connect portal is to help students gain employment, we're also trying to give them holistic support. We are supporting them in terms of, say, offering internships, say, seek or say, just look for also internships. I can probably speak and then have this taken up in a bigger way, and then probably maybe conduct another talk or something where the person who's handling Skill Connect can brief you on what all is available, and then how students can actually make the most of this portal that exists. We have a lot of industries that are onboarded, for both offering placements and internships. So that is something that can be done. While in the long term, a lot of policy level decisions have to be taken up. In that meanwhile, I think actions at different levels, at university, college, or student level, there are many things that we think can be done, and then most definitely we can actually take this up in a bigger scale, and I'll try my level best to speak to the concerned officials and then see what can be done, ma'am. And the faculty as well, we've moving on to the next question, faculty. It's very important that our trainers or say faculty are up to as par with the knowledge that the industry or have that industry exposure, really. So because only then can the students learn better. So in that front, we've again piloted a few things in terms of conducting faculty development programs, again in terms of, say, pedagogy skills, also technical skills. So such things have been happening. I think there's, like you mentioned, we'll have to take this up in a bigger scale, and then that has to happen. Yes, we will try and maybe come up with something to address these challenges, really. Okay. Yes, and communication was the other question, I think. Communication, there are many online resources that are available also. I think you can depend or say have your students look into such courses. A lot of the courses are also available free of cost. That is something that the students can make the best use of. Yes, and I hope that answered your question.
Yes, madam. Thank you for the answers. I think we are running out of time.
Sorry, sir.
I mean, if the participants have any more questions, please put it on the chat.
I think you can always get back to me, write something, yes. So that should be fine. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, madam. Thank you for the wonderful talk, what you have given, the employability skills. You have given a complete overview of it. And the takeaway which you talked about is the skills you acquire for a particular sector. Definitely that can be adopted for different other sectors as well. So gaining those employability skills is a challenge, and that should be met. Thank you, madam, for even giving the roadmap to attain the employability skills. The 10 points what you have highlighted, definitely it will be a great help to our facilitators and trainers. Thank you, madam. Thank you for
Thanks,
accepting and coming over and speaking to our faculty. Thank you, madam.
My pleasure, sir.
So our next speaker for today is Mr. Ravindra Mahabaleshwar Keni, Head of Department Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Karnataka Government Polytechnic, Mangaluru. So he'll be speaking on the title Best Practices Adopted in Electrical Utility Engineering Pathway. A brief profile about Keni sir. He is from Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department. He has over 31 years of teaching experience. He acquired his BE from REC Surathkal in 1992. Post-graduation, Master of Engineering, Power and Energy Systems, Goa Engineering College. PGDTCA from NITTR Taramani, Chennai. To his credit, he has published 2 national level papers and presented 2 national level papers, and is attended, participated in various workshops, training courses at AICTE, IST and NITTR level. And to his credit, he has also given consultancy as a third-party inspection, and has fetched grants up to 2 lakhs. And he has worked in a capacity as CC Tech manager, and his areas of interest are solar and EV. So today he'll be speaking on the best practices adopted in electrical utility engineering pathway. So over to you, sir. Ravindra Keni, sir.
Good evening, Rajsekhar.
Good evening, sir.
And I'm here to make a best presentation about the best practice adopted in electrical utility engineering pathway. So I'm from Karnataka Polytechnic, Mangalore, and we are here is 8 branches in the Karnataka Polytechnic. One of the branches electrical. Here full strength of students are admitted, and most of the students are PUC background. PUC means arts, commerce. In the form of science, they will come to the second year, but from the first year, there are very few science people are there, and they will be participating in the electrical. So in the final year, we have the pathway. One of the student, after passing out, he has given the feedback, and the feedback was on the screen. Dhanraj Chanel. My feedback about the electrical utility engineering is this pathway. Our course offers practical knowledge, variety of electrical systems or components, such as DC, diesel generator, transformers, control panel, industrial wiring, and necessary for the electrical students. In addition to this pathway, it also teaches about the other important equipments and systems, practical and theory knowledges, and their use, such as fire safety systems, LAN and pumps, EDP, STPs. For the model, we made LT panels. From this, we learned how to wire the control and the mount its components and designing of the control panel. Thank you. So this is what is the feedback given by the student in 2023. Because our college has taken extraordinary performance in this particular area of the pathway. So how it happened, that's what the question asked by the Rajsekhar sir. And he told me to explain how you have performed very well in this particular way. So we are displaying this kind of quotes on our classrooms board. So which says that discipline plus dedications and determination is going towards success. So the student reads every day on the board and they will move towards the success. So that's how the success is given to the student. So our student in the 2023 November, there are 54 students appeared for this particular pathway, and we have made into two pathways. And myself, Ravindra Kenil, taken one pathway of 27 students, and there's another faculty members of our department, Nashum, but is also taken another pathway. So for the theory part, we are getting together in the same classroom, but the practical path we are given in the batch wise, and they are going for the different areas. So the total percentage of pass in that particular year is 54 out of that 46 students have passed in the first attempt, and remaining successfully, all them are cleared. But the first time we got 85.19 percentage. This is the highest percentage which occurred in the state. So in the next year, the last year, which is the last batch which is passed out, there 59 students are taken this particular pathway, and out of that, all the 59 students are passed. 100% result was there. We also very happy about this, our student performance. And here also we have taken two pathways. One is 30 students, another one is 29 students in the pathway. So we credit to the students. So our students, after passing of this particular 20 series pathways, they have employed in different industries. The most of the thing is Asian Paints, Birla Paints, then Grasim's, Karwar Industries, Toyota, Kirloskar. The highest among the payment which was given was the annual payment was 9 lakhs in the Asian Paints, and they are very happy about the performance. All these students are into the things because 90% of the students are going for direct campus interview. The remaining 10% are going for the higher educations and all. So one or two students which are dropped out, after all, we'll push them to the kind of industries if they come to the college. So we are thankful to our beloved principal, Sri Harish Shetty sir. Our principal supported our students very largely, motivated, encouraged the students in activity demonstration, because I am a hobby of demonstrating the activities. Every semester I do. Industrial guest lecture arrangement, that guest faculty arrangement time also is supported very largely. He himself self-guided our student for electrification of buildings, transformer section, diesel generator, sewage treatment plant in the buildings, the lift areas, the fire safety areas. So whenever our principal is behind us, our student also can get more success. That's the motivation behind. Our student, how they performed in the classrooms, students involved in the electrical utility work every day, hands-on practice of the electrical utilities given to the students, industrial persons given the talk every week, and with the discussion with the students. So all the doubts are clear at the time. Students visited industries regularly. Minimum 8 industries they visited nearby. Continuously, students are monitored for their electrical utility activities. 13 weeks are there. So among the 13 weeks, 1 week is the biggest area. They learn more about this case. In the class hour, students are allowed to discuss, encourage the students in all the activities. College inverters maintained regularly. Students are given yoga activity for concentration by our another staff member, Narshima, but every time he takes there to yoga class, clapping their hands and motivating them to give alert. Our students are taken into the classroom from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. regularly without fail. They are taken attendance, monitor their attendance, signed attendance is taken, and without their attendance, we are not allowed them to write for the internals also. So they are warned, their parents are called, and they have been made in this particular pathway actually. Student performance are taken in the CIE at the time. So we have given the question papers about L3, L4 level questions, choice with 4 different questions. one question paper from each section they have to answer. 10 set of question papers are given for the first CE. So 10 set of question paper means different questions. Totally 40 questions are given to the students, a different area in that particular first CA pattern only. So the students are having all possible questions which is available, which is arising in the end exam. They are prepared for that. So this is what is the student performance. I am taken the moderator section for the learning management section in this particular pathway, electrical utility pathway. Along myself, 26 other teaching faculties are together. So there are many namings I can give, but all the name I cannot give. Like in Hassan side, Lokesh, Sham, Sridhar Murthy, Karwar side, Pradeep N, Chandan, NJ, and from Bidar, Nagraj is there, and so many others are there. Like, okay, so they're all knowing what is the thing. What is this learning management system? Students are given the materials, learning. We have implemented the OBE directly. Today's class, they have to learn it yesterday's night. And the doubt, whatever they studied, at that time doubt arises, that is to be cleared in the classroom. So this is what the OBE systems, outcome-based education systems, we implemented in the classroom. So students are only doubt cleared in the class, the next class. So the toolkit used in the utility engineering. So spanner sets, big spanner set. These students toolkits. So they need to maintain with the generators, transformers. So our college has all the facilities about the infrastructure of the utility sections. So like what they want inverter, they want solar system, they want generator, they want transformer, they want pump. Everything is available in the college only. Our mechanical workshops, polymer lab, civil lab, everywhere we have taken the action around this. So one of the things is, see, how we have taken many activity exhibitions. What the thing is, activity exhibition in my class, I'm not monitoring the student because only guided. I allowed all the lecturers to observe these activities. They inspire the students and they will come and guide it. And all the college students are allowed to monitor these activities and they will be having some motivations. So look into this, the civil HOD, Deepak Talekar is watching a small model exhibition by the students. So like Santosh Pandis and Devraj is watching and explaining the students how you have to make this, what is the thing. So this is what the encouragement is given by the student. Our Nasim Bhatt sir is watching the activities of small models. Girish Babu sir is watching. So this is how the activity exhibitions we have taken. See this traffic light controller, a small model is explaining by the students, by the civil students, first year civils, and they are explaining to the staff. So Vishwanath Mane is there, Devraj and Santosh Pandis is there. So this is automobile students. They are giving some models. There are many other photos available, but only some photos are selected. Science lecture is observing the activities, exhibitions. They are different. The date you can see, there are different dates. Not only one day, one class, another day, another class they are exhibiting. So our students have visited KMF industries in nearby for the quality test. Like what are the qualities they are having, ISO qualities and Six Sigma methods, which comes in the first week of the pathway. They observed there the neatness of the cleanness of the and the qualities. So another company they have visited in the first week is Karavali Switchgears, and you can see that they can see how the panel boards are constructed, what are the different way they can construct it, and this is how the photos are collected. Our computer lab having very good facilities, like 30 computers are available. A student with a batch of 30 members can accommodate in each, and they practice their CAD works, their electrical e-tap works, everything. So this is how our principal is arranging our lab facilities like internet. They are connected everywhere. See, our college transformer, the transformer which is supplying nearly about 62.5 kVA to the total college. So the sanction power is maybe nearly on 125 kVA, but the college needs only 162 kVA. To their nameplate details, the wiring designs, the students are keenly observing daily, like anytime they want. We are taken the student to MESCOM 2 times in a semester will take, or 2 times in a year sometimes, nearby cover substations. See, that's the big transformer which is nearby. They're observing that, and the cooling areas, everything. So this is the control room of the MESCOM. Whenever our senior students, old students comes to the college, we take them to the college class, and they are explained about their experience, whatever they are taken in industry, and that industrial experience is totally transferred to the students. So you can see the words on the board: discipline, dedication, determination is equal to success. So this is what every day the students will read. See, the inverter batteries, we have totally 10 inverter sections. See, the lady students are cleaning the batteries, checking the batteries, as well as the boys. There are instruments which is testing the battery voltage, capacities, everything. So the PPE kit, they are used, hand gloves with this, and multimeters they are using, continuity test, whether the well is okay or not. And this the diesel generator, old diesel generator, which is there in our lab. First, primarily they inspect, and there is a big generator available in the total campus, 62.5 kVA. This is small, only 5 kVA generator. Our students' portfolio works. You can see that one file, one students, so big. In the 13 weeks, they have to make 13 different files, and the files of the different activities, like they have to online work, they have to project work, they have the industrial report, their log sheets, everything, one file. Totally 27 students file is available. Such a same pair, another pair is there. So you can see the date. This is not today's, it's old dates. So the different reports, students' works. So panel board models, the students only constructed, but the panel board making, the modeling, they are making it to the industry, but the connections are given by the students. CC camera connections, how they checking it, and they are making by hands-on practice. So all things are hands-on practice. Our computer science lecturer, Pradip Kumar, we invited him to for the networking demonstrations, how the cables have to be crimped and networking connections to be made. And he has given very good idea about the students. Students are very happy about, enjoyed his sections. So the cable testings, connections, they are roaming around the classrooms. See, our classrooms all are electrified. So all the towers, panel boards, like generators, they are in the environment of the electrical only in the class, like that. They are interconnected, all the computers in the lab. We called industrial person, like bill of material, UPS designs. So they are explaining the students every class. Like whenever they have industrial talk, they are called. This is different time, 3 different times. We called fire brigades. They came and explained the fire safety devices and many other. The big vehicle itself is taken into the college, and with this knowledge, they are very clear about the fire safety things. And see this big vehicle came. They made the water games, fire quenchings. If any fire happens, they made the student to quench that. So this is how the training is given in one day. So parents meet with the faculties. So regularly means whenever anything happens, 2 months we'll call parents. Or in the end of the session, we'll call parents. All the documents are given to the parents. In the beginning of the semester, I'll make the parents meeting. It clearly instructs how your students is to be, what your student supposed to be in our house, what is the behavior, how they have to move. See, parents meeting, all the parents are there They are cleanly observing what best can be given to their children's. So I'll give some videos. It's like how our students have made the video. What I made is regularly I ask the student to make videos. You make whatever you want. You make a video, explain. But while making one video, they took 8 to 9 times repeated. Means error checkings, error corrections, everything. Finally, they come with a good way video. So I will play one video example.
Hello everyone, my name is Rovina Morris and I am Electrical and Electronics Engineering final year student. In this video, I am going to explain about fire extinguisher. This is a ABC type powder fire extinguisher. It is called as dry chemical powder fire extinguisher. It is a stored pressure type, and this dry chemical extinguishers put out fire by coating the fuel with a thin layer of dust. So we can see the powder here, it is a thin layer of dust separating the fuel from the oxygen in the air. So powder also works to interrupt the chemical reaction of fire. So these extinguishers are extremely effective at putting out the fire. This ABC type fire extinguishers are filled with the fine yellow powder. The greatest portion of this powder is composed of monoammonium phosphate. Nitrogen is used to pressurize the extinguishers. Fire extinguisher, it has ISO 9001:2015 certified. Hello everyone, my name is Rovina Morris and I am Electrical and Electronics.
This is earthing connections. Earthing they are making. Pipe earthings. No, this is earthing connection, not solar panel connection, earthing connections. Final, they are making the connection with the system with the earthing point.
ಇದು 12 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದರದ್ದು ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೈನಸ್ ವೈರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇದು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೈನಸ್ಗೆ ಅದರ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಅನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಇದನ್ನು 2 ವೈರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ವೈರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇದು ಆಮ್ರಾನ್, ಇದು 12 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ. ಇದರದ್ದು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಆಮ್ರಾನ್, ಇದು ಹೊಸ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದರದ್ದು 12.7 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಮಗೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇದೀಗ DC ಲೈಟ್, ಇದರದ್ದು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಯಿಂದ ಸಪ್ಲೈ DC ಲೈಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇನ್ವರ್ಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಬದಲು ನಾವು DC ಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇದೀಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೆ ಲೈಟ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ಇದು 12 ವೋಲ್ಟ್
ಸಬ್ಮರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಪಂಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ನೀರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ದಡ ತುಂಬಾ ಭಾರ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಅವರು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಎತ್ತು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you all the basic procedure of how to crimp Cat6 network cable using RJ45 connector. So now, I'm going to unbox the required components of a LAN connection.
Thank you, sir. This is the best practice of electrical utility we have given. So, any questions?
Yeah,
Sir.
to participants, if you have any questions, you can ask. GPT Kapu. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. GPT Kapu. GPT Hangal.
Angle.
Any questions?
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್ ಮೈಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಗೌರಿ
ಹಾ.
ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಇದು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ 5 kV UPS ಇನ್ವರ್ಟರ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನ್ವೈಟೆಡ್ ಒನ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್. ಅವೇನು ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ತಾಸು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ only 1,000 rupees. So whatever this pathway is totally really helps in government polytechnics, particularly almost all the polytechnics, they are using UPSs and power supply. So pathway ಇವರು ಇವತ್ತಿನೆಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರು ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೈಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಕಿನಿ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಯುಟಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರಿಯಲಿ ರಿಯಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. But highly useful for all our faculties also to motivate their students to do their our repair work in our institute, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Girish. Jagdish.
Thank you, Jagdish. Anybody having any other question? No, I don't think so. We have.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you, sir, Kiri sir, for giving a very good overview of the best practices what you have adopted in teaching your electrical utility engineering pathway. You have actually involved your students in various activities, exhibition, conduction of exhibition, field visits, and how you have maintained the portfolio works, and even various other models like panel board models have been created, and you have conducted lots of workshops in enhancing the skills of the students. You have given, we have seen the videos of students themselves preparing earthing pit and finally making connections. Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful talk and presentation. Thank you, sir. Now we have our last speaker of the day, Mr. Vinayak Naik, lecturer in civil engineering, Government Polytechnic, Karwar. So he'll be speaking on consultancy opportunities in polytechnics. To tell briefly about Vinayak Naik, he's lecturer in Department of Civil Engineering, and he received his BE in Civil from MS Ramaya Institute of Technology, Bangalore, and MTech in Industrial Structures from Sri Jayachamrajendra College of Engineering, Mysore. So he has 2 years of industry experience and over 13 years of teaching experience. And he is also actively involved in research activities since 2 years. And he is actively involved in consultancy projects of various departments. And to his achievements, he has received awards as Best Presentation Technique Award, Best Paper Award, Best MTech Thesis Award, and Letter of Appreciation Award as Best IDP Preparation and Review of IDP in the Karnataka state. And he has participated in academic and administrative committees, and he has involved himself in various institutional level developmental activities. Thank you for joining, Mr. Vinayak Naik. Naik, sir, over to you. And one more thing about Vinayak is of late he had been invited by the district administration, DC of Karwar, for making a study on flooding situation in Karwar district. That's also great credit for Vinayak.
So my presentation is visible, sir?
Yes, yes. Please continue, sir.
Thank you for wonderful introduction, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. For those who don't know me, I'm Vinayak Naik, head of the department, presently working as head of the department in civil engineering department in Government Polytechnic, Karwar, which is placed in Uttar Kannada. And today I'm here to present my topic, a consultancy opportunity in polytechnics. And first of all, from bottom of my heart, I thank the Commissionerate sir and Director sir for providing this opportunity to put forth my work. And on this amazing occasion, I like to remember our previous principals, Vasu Esapaji sir, Ravi Shankar sir, Bhairapanawar sir, Rosemary madam, and also present principal Vasudev Krishna Gowda sir for supporting me in all aspects. And I also want to remember Dr. Chanagiri Gowda, retired principal, and H.S. Chandrasekhar sir, Dr. Suresh Kumar sir, Dr. Siddling Swami sir, who has given insight which helped me or us to develop in this consultancy arena. And what is consultancy? And any problem we are facing day to day, we are facing problems in our industry and in our society. What needs a support? Where we are staying, it's a remote place. It's not in a city. There is no physical solutions available. And for consulting any problem, we should define the problem and collect the statistics and facts about that problem and identify the best practice or best experience from the available guides, and the outlining and implementation plan with strategy plan, adopting any strategy like SWOT analysis, best analysis, and there are so many analysis available. We can use that, and helping and the coordinating with the team and helping the management reach their consensus and recommending a solution. And there should be always an alternative solution. We should always think about the alternative solution whenever giving the consulting solution. And after that, the feedback is very essential and ensuring that improvement are sustainable. And whatever we produce the solution, we should see that it is reaching the maximum benefit attend the society. And let us overview. I like to give an overview about my previous work about the consultancy. I was working in the GPT Siddhapur from 2011, where the staffs over there have generated the revenue generated from past 1.5 decades. And the consultancy cell was started in 2014, but we started the work from 2011-12 itself as we joined. And the revenue generated, we can see there in the screen, the amount of revenue till date, that is 37 lakhs. But it is not the single hand contribution. There are several others, colleague of mine who have contributed for this, like our head of the department of that time, the Nikhil J, and Manju NL, Nagesh MR, and Ritika MP. I will not take all the names because it's difficult to take everyone's name. But our GPT Siddhapur staffs who have contributed for this revenue generation, they have had a much effort. And in 2010 to 14, there was a 1%. Here we started striving hard to generate the revenue. And then the idea of revenue generation was to a very low extent in just contributing for the society. That was once the problem comes to us and we used to solve that was only limited to that. Then we thought of working on that, and the next 4 years it developed to the 14% of the revenue. And then suddenly, after working on it, there is an exponential hike in 18 to 22, and now until 4 years has not completed, there is a 44% hike of revenue generation. You can see that. That too, we are staying in a GPT Siddhapur, which is a town panchayat at the zone D's place, where we in our transfer we can say that it is a zone D place, where we have generated such revenue generation we have done. But not only us. In the district, Uttar Kannada district and the Dakshin Kannada districts, our pioneers like the KPT Mangalore and GPT Bantwala have generated many many heavy generation of revenue has been generated there. And to our extent, in our position and with being in Siddhapur, generating the revenue of 37 lakh is a big amount for us. It's a great achievement, what I'll tell you about. Let us explain what is consultancy cell. The consultancy giving an expert advice or excellent expert service or a client other than maybe the other than our government or other than the industry or society. In society, industry, and government, all this includes whatever they bring a problem to us. We'll have an expert advice or we'll solve the problem with a systematic manner. That is consultancy. And we also charge the consultancy fee for making the minimal use of institute resources. And it would be an additional management responsibility for faculty and would involve the extra work for existing staff. And we need a little bit of dedication as it is an extra work for us. And to run this consultancy, we need a cell which we call as a consultancy cell. It's a unit in the institution which administers the overall work of the consulting activity. The scope of consultancy, I'll give the example of mostly of civil engineer. Forgive me for that, because I'm a civil engineer, and I'll give the examples of whatever we have done the work. The consultancy cells of the scope, which offers the service to the industry, as I earlier said, the government agency, private, public enterprises, and product development centers and startups, and even for small scale industries and all. The area of consultancy include testings, third-party inspections, quality control, design, feasibility, survey and product development, and software and hardware design, ecology and environment, etc. And to allow the faculty to utilize their potential as advisors, the research project consultancy is sponsored by the private parties and industries, government, including the organization institution, including government tenders. In government tenders also, we can participate in the government tenders to help in the attaining financial self-sufficiency of the institution. And I remember during COVID, we were having such an situation that in an emergency situation, where we are having a shortage of financial in our institution. That time I remember in 2019-20, where we were such a self-sustainable that we would purchase every sort of whatever requirement of small stationaries or whatever, whether the fund is very negligible, when fund is very low for us in our institution, we try hard. We did our best. Because of the consultancy cell, we have generated the revenue that time, and it helped us a lot. And the consulting was also done under the name of the personal assistant. Whoever the consultancy work does, he is called a consultant or a principal investigator. He is also called as a principal investigator. We'll let us discuss a few in future slides. And the consultancy work shall not interfere with the normal testing or research work of the department. It should not hinder your regular works. And our vision for the consultancy, whatever we have done, the consultancy, it should be the platform for the technical service to the society which includes industry and everyone in this. It doesn't mean that only for industrial, everyone nearby us. And what is the aim and objective? To encourage the faculty and staff member to take up the consultancy work that generates revenue. The institute provides the support to the client by consultancy in the various disciplines beneficial to the society and industry, to develop the products and consultancy service as per the client's requirement, and provide the consultancy to new startups and the entrepreneurs and small scale industry, as I earlier said. And it helps us to bridge the gap between the industry and institute for the development, where we can have a greater access to the industry, where we'll be knowing the many persons who will be like, it is very easy to send the students to the internship and all. And to give the industry exposure to the faculty to transfer technical expertise of the faculty to industry by offering the various technological solutions, to establish the framework to support the consultancy activities, and to encourage and facilitate the environment to undertake the sponsored and consultancy projects by the faculty, and to cultivate the collaboration with the industry to strengthen the industry-institute interaction and binding with the industry, like making an MOU with them and serve as a bridge between the industry and academia. And also to give the exposure to the advanced learners of the institute to withstand the hand-on industry practice by helping the faculty in some projects, and even for the students to encourage an interdisciplinary approach by the consultancy activity for the industry through academic year. These were the objectives and some of the missions what we adopted in our institution during while my work in the government polytechnic Sindapur. Then to facilitate the consultation and testing service within the infrastructure of institution, whatever the instrument or machineries or testing instrument available, we used to do the testing this one with the proper upgradation of instruments, and all laboratories are well equipped with the modern equipment which are calibrated, with whatever equipments you will have, you will be keep updated. It will be updated as it needs the calibration. Where we are when we involve in the testing, we need to be calibrate the instruments that will be updated here, and the equipment machineries are modernized, and we require modern equipments, and that will be upgraded in our present situation of our Polytechnic. And to create the knowledge through the team effort and individual for the benefit of the society. As I earlier said, it's all about the team, not about the individual, where the team can make big changes in our Polytechnic. To impart the education to produce the professional capable of leading efforts towards the innovative products and process for the development of the society. To inculcate the spirit of entrepreneurship, which helps the students to encourage them for the entrepreneurship, which is very important nowadays, and to impart the ability to devise the globally recognized solution for the problem of society and industry, will be updated in the present trend. To train the teachers capable of inspiring the next generation of scientists and researchers, to work intensely with the industry in pursuit of the above goals of education and research, leading to the development of cutting-edge and commercial viable technologies, to operate in ambience marked by the overriding respect of the ability and merits. And before going deep into the consultancy norms or terms, we'll learn some of the terms whatever we use. What is consultant? The consultant is just whoever participate in the consultant activity using the institution time, manpower, and equipments, and gives and professionality and specialization is called consultant. He is also called as the participate in a principal investigator in some of the consultancy norms. And institution facilities are those infrastructure facility available in our institutions. And the private consultancy are those which is not through the institution, and which is not legal to practice in our government institution. That private consultancy is not allowed, which means private consultancy means we are doing the consultancy on our own. That is not allowed here. And we have whatever we do consultancy, which is done through our institution and through our head principals and director. The consultancy fee is the minimum charge we charge for our advisor consultation fee, where we divide the charges into and bifurcate and for providing remuneration and other charges. Other expenditures will have that. We'll study about this detail in next slides. The consultancy fee and then overhead charges. The overhead charges means the charges which comes for the accountancy purpose, which cannot be which cannot be governed easily. For that we'll have an overhead charges. And the consultancy norms, there's the consultancy norm, there's the code of conduct and rules and regulation, what we follow for the consultancy work, which is given by the department. For nowadays, we follow the old order, which is from 1975 order we follow, but we require to revise this order, and I request our higher officials to please rework on the order or to allocate the persons to rework on this. And arbitration is the issue or a disputes occurs when the consultancy. What all we have to. These are the terms what comes in here, and the organizational setups comes in this way, where the consultancy cell is handled by the consultancy manager. He is mostly the senior person nominated by the principal, where we will coordinate the whole consultancy activities from start to scratch. And the administration action or the consultancy work is controlled by the consultant or called chief consultant, who are the principal handovers the consultancy job. He is called a chief consultant. He may be the individual or he may be from the group. He is called chief consultant and fellow consultants. And the consultancy cell is headed by the principal and the chairperson in the advisory committee. In the advisory committee, the consultancy manager is the senior faculty, and the head of the department is all are the members, and the office registrars and any senior persons in the officials are the members, and chief consultant and consultant are the members. And here, to become a chief consultant or consultant, or he has to become a member, he has to give a minimum revenue generation for about 50,000, and then he is the default member of the consultancy cell. And one other industry person should be also be there. He should be the member of the consultancy cell. And the advisory committee, what we saw just now, and the roles and responsibility of the members. I will not mention all the members, and I'll mostly highlight whatever is required, which is very much required. First one, they should hold a 2 advisory meeting in an academic year, and the publication of annual report, which has to be sent to the DTE, and the income tax deduction at the source and its depositions, and upkeeping of the day-to-day records, and develop a strategy plan for development of future consultancy cell in coming assessment year. And the categories of consultancy, there are different categories of consultancy what we can conduct in our institution. The first one is individual consultancy without institutional facility, where we'll not use any institution infrastructure for the consultancy. That is called individual consultancy. And the individual consultancy, one more consultancy with the institutional facility. This has separate norms. And the individual consultancy, we use the infrastructure available in our institution for the consultancy of any problems raised by our clients. And third one is a group consultancy without institution facility. And here again, it is not done by one. Some projects there will be require a team. That's why the group consultancy will follow. And the group consultancy with institution facility, where we use the infrastructure of the college for the consultancy. And this consultancy project life cycle goes like this. As every project or every problem or to give a good solution, we need to run in this project life cycle, where the first one, the initiation of the project, where we initiate with the help of with our head of the institution, that is principal, and the problem, we take the permission from him, and the problem statement of by the industry, what all problem it comes, and the identification of relevant expertise, and what extent we can do, how competent we are to solve this problem. We should think about it, and before taking the project or talking the consultancy, and finalization of the project, and next the execution comes, that where the finalization of project scope, deliverables, and cost terms and conditions also will exchange from the client, and the fund receipt and project initiations and any advance required for that, and we'll go for it. The regular updates and meetings also will be conducted in the execution part. And in the closure part, the report submission, whatever the project we are assigned to or we are bound to do, that we have to submit the report to the principal, and we submit here to the DC if it is from the government side, or whoever heads from the client side, we have to produce the report for them, and the final closure and the documentation for the future, and the financial this one also, financial closure also we have to do. And at last, the feedback, which is very important. Every project is different for us, as we have a different experience in each and every project. We'll learn new things, and we'll learn new solutions, and new limitations will be there. We'll have some limitations. That all will go in the feedback section, and where the discussion and scope of the development will think about it, and overcoming the limitations where what we have done, and this should be not be in further consultancy projects. This is the consultancy project lifestyle what we carry out. And coming to the fees which we share, there are 2 types of sharing, and one is 70-30% among the institution, and other one is 50-50%. When we use these tools, and we'll explain with the help of a flow chart, the individual or a group consultancy without institutional facility. When we don't use the institutional facility, any facility we will not use from our institution, and this will be decided by our chairperson, like principal, whether it comes under the using institutional facility or without institutional facility. And this, for any fee or consultancy fee, which will be first, it will be there will be deduction of overhead charges, where we know there will be hidden hidden expenditure where we can't estimate that. That's why we deduct the 15% of overhead charges, where the consultancy cell will keep it for the project expenditure and printing expenditure, like printing the documents, dispatching expenditures, and TADA contingency, the maintenance of a consultancy cell, and honorarium for the helper, which we keep for the running of a consultancy cell. That all comes in this 15% head. And this, after deducting the 15% of the consultancy fee, what we'll do is we'll divide it in 30, 70, sorry, here it's 50, somehow it's a mistake, and the institution share should be 30 here, it should be 30, and the product share is 70. Whatever the, after deducting for 15% from here, here we have to go for 30% deduction, which is institution share. Again, the institution share, which will be divided into institution development fund and professional faculty development fund. Usually in our institution and POS institution, only the institution development fund we used to allocate, but the professional development faculty development fund is also very much essential while coming across many problems in training in terms of consultancy and all. And where the institution development fund is totally used for the procurement of the instruments, is institute upgradation, lab upgradation, and the professional development fund, it is used for the faculty development mostly, and seminars for them, and attending the national seminars and attending trainings and TADA for them. All those comes under this head. And most of the institution is not following this. Actually, they are only making up the institutional development fund, and the other share, the 70% share, whoever the project in group or individual, the core team members or the individual team members, who have done the project will be divided into in the following way. The resource person will get 80%, the principal 5%, HOD 5%, administrator 5%, and assistant 5%. This can be changed. We are following the old order actually. And this can be changed with the help of the advisory committee making a meeting, and we have done some changes in some, but this is the standard this one division actually. And the institution, what is institution development fund or corpus fund in some consultancy, in the way they call it as a corpus fund. And this fund, utilization of this fund will be decided by the advisory committee and may be used for the creating facilities in institution totally on the development side, to cover the depreciation maintenance charges of the laboratory equipments, instruments, computers, and also strengthen the infrastructure of the department concerned. And then we can work on the modernization of our laboratory equipment if we have a sufficient fund, and we develop the consultancy activity. And the professional development fund, which is not presently seen in our intern, but we can keep a fund, divide some divisions of fund. Very minimal division is also okay, which helps us to help the faculty which who are participating in consultancy activity or other than consultancy activity, who are in institution, can help them to maintain some of the institutional activity, such as maintain the other cells such as IQAC, NBA, III Industry Interaction Cell, Innovation Club, where we request the fund, where the fund is a very important aspect, where every work stops due to the lack of fund. In that manner, we can use this professional faculty development fund for that. And the conducting national seminar, professionals building activities, we can use this. The travel for the professional work, including the PODM expenses, the purchase of books, journals, membership fees of professional activity, and conference-related expenses, purchase of consumable for the professional work, purchase of maintenance of equipment, including AMC maintenance for the computers, equipments, all those things, and other expenditures such as the AMC maintenance, also as I earlier said, and the costing of photocopying and binding cost of telephone calls, and hiring of manpower and electricity bills, hiring service such as taxi scatters, and all needs, which is helpful for the faculty, which can be divided. And the other part is the individual groups. With the institution. Earlier, what I said was that it was a 50-50 actually. The division should be 50-50, as I showed in the first table that 50-50. This here in institution, with the institution facility, the share is 30% and 70%. And 30% same. If you are using the facility like infrastructure of the lab equipments, and you are testing some equipments, all comes under here. The testing also I have shown in other flow chart, where the same order is that it doesn't change, but the the division of the share after deducting from the overhead charges, it is 30% to 70%. Earlier it was 50-50% actually, 50-50%. And in terms of testing, we can do the testing in our institution also. For example, the testing of the components, like we do in civil engineering, we do the testing of soils and the construction concrete ingredients and concrete also we test. For that, the institution will undertake the testing job, providing facility are available, and such testing does not interfere with any testing work or practical work in our for students. Whatever the hindrance should not be for the regular work. The testing job can be initially by faculty or once request is received for the testing job. And the additional work we do is the certification. We provide certification to the client whoever has ordered us for the test, and the care should be taken that the test is done for the same day and the given sample and well-defined test and with the result. And whatever the result comes, we should produce it. And the testing, the flow chart goes like this, where the total share is divided whenever the testing is done in the institution, or it can be outsourced also. If the testing is done outsourced with other institution, then the expense has to be deducted. First, we have to deduct the expense from the whatever expense we have done for testing. That should be deducted first, and then the whatever the amount remains, then 15% should be overhead charge the cost, and then the whatever left that, then it should be shared as 50 50 again here, 50 share, 50 share, and the rest of the things for same flows in the same way. And the consultancy duration, as all our faculty should get the opportunity for the consultancy, and the minimum time required for the consultancy is given the 30 days. It should not exceed 30 days for the each single consultancy. Even if the additional has to be done, then you should take the permission from the principal or very higher officials. The deduction of tax at the source, and the consultancy manager should deduct the tax as it is applicable for the tax deduction, whatever the income comes through the consultancy, and institution income tax will be done at the source as per the norms. And if you are going for the new project, or the society requires you, or the client requires your project, and you need to, there is a rate arrangement for all, and the Karnataka government has given the rate schedule for the all the different types of testing or projects, anything. But if you want to do the consultancy activity for an unique work, then you have to keep in mind, then we should do the work such that there should be no losses, and we should keep in mind of such expenses, whatever comes in the project, the cost of consultant time, and whatever we invest the time, then cost of management, what we take for our work, and TADA, and the equipment charges, stationery charges, and administrative and miscellaneous, all this comes. And for any strategic plan, any consultancy activity or any cells require a strategic plan, where we adopted in GPT Siddhapur under our colleagues, we had a certain plan which I'm going to discuss here, where the strategic plans are the cells should be done, that cells should be strive for the opportunity exploration networking of institution, and we should have contacts and so to the academic industry, and to get the consultancy and collaboration with them. And cells must encourage the faculty members to organizing events, programs, and trainings regarding this. But we have a limited idea about the consultancy activity related to the consultant collaboration every year to enhance the required expertise at the research. And what our situation or what our industry or what nearby society demands us, we should have a training of that. For example, in our GPT Karwar, there are shipyards, are more shipyards are there, and there will be a consultancy activity which comes for shipyards. There is problems in ports and all. We have faced it, and problems in collection of water and calculating water and all. The cell will also, consultancy will perform the competency mapping. We should do the competency mapping so that what need-based analysis we should do, where how much demand is there, on what extent we can go. As in being in GPT Siddhapur, we have collected so much revenue. I don't think any place left in Karnataka where we can And there is no potential for the consultancy cell. There is always potential for the consultancy cell. We have to work and with the strategy plan. And again, the faculty and staff members requires training for ensure the consultancy work to become an expertise, and to first we should be a competency and being collaborated with other institute which does the consultancy cell. And as in the beginning of our consultancy cell, yes sir.
How many more slides are there?
No, it's an end. Only one slide.
Okay. Yeah, because we are running out of time.
Okay, one slide.
Yes.
Okay. In initial of our consultancy cell, we thought of making a brochure and leaflets and meeting in AWEs and many other higher officials who there where we find some of the opportunities where we can do the we can get the consultancy projects, and we have done that. And to coordinate the R&D projects between the institution and industry in the area, and we can approach them. Until we approach, we don't know whether what a society or industry demands, and then we need some initiation for that. And to assist the signing of MOU, and this we have to make with the MOU with some testing laboratories like NABL certified laboratories. But we are in a situation that our laboratories are very low. Sorry to say that, but we require to strive hard for that, and using our corpus fund or development fund to modernize our laboratory such that we can assist our student also and the society and industry also. And patent, other than to offering the service of testing materials characterized certification, and that's what I was talking about. The NABL certification is very much essential for all the labs, which we should all strive hard to make our all the labs NABL certified. This is slightly difficult, and it's not so difficult also if we work on it. And thank you for providing me this opportunity to share my experience.
Thank you, Vinayak. No, we don't have time to take questions. Faculty can directly connect with Vinayak Naik for further information, like how consultancy could be established in the respective polytechnics. Thank you, Vinayak, for giving a very elaborate overview of how consultancy can be carried out in polytechnics, and you have shown practically that revenue could be generated. And from your end, from the institute, 37 lakhs revenue, it's not a small amount. It's a sufficiently large amount which you have generated. Congratulations. And definitely all other polytechnics will also take a cue from this discussion. Thank you, Vinayak.
Thank you, sir, Rajshekar sir and Nikhil J sir, who insisted and believed in me for delivering this presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, one and all. Thank you. Thanks to all the speakers of the day today from the Department of Technical Education. I also thank all the principals, head of sections, faculty, and students who have connected to this talk show. Thank you, one and all.